So good morning, everybody. I'm hoping you can fully see me in full stripes because I've got a new camera and I've got a new microphone, and it took me about 3 hours last night to get my head and my feet in. It was just so difficult, but we're here and I've jazzed up the studio, brought some plants in. I thought I'd try and make it a little bit more ambient. And welcome to Vicky, who's just joined us this morning. We're going to be doing some absolutely gorgeous Drew yoga this morning. So just to bring you into the Drew yoga world, Drew yoga is a flowing style of hatha yoga. It was originally designed as a therapy back in the late 70s. And the Drew Yoga Ashram, the headquarters is down in Wales. And it's a style of flowing hatha yoga where we bring the whole of the being into the picture. So we work with the emotions, we bring in affirmations and visualizations, and all your movements, we synchronize them with the breath. So generally speaking, if you're taking your arms up, you'd be breathing in. If you're folding forwards or coming down, you'd be breathing out. I've been a Drew yoga teacher for about 8 years now, I think, if you include my training as well. And I started online during lockdown. So we have a bit of a format to a class. So we will activate the body. So we'll loosen up the body and shake out. Let me see, she's not there. Let me just try sending her an invite. Sorry about this. There's always a few technical hitches. So we'll do an activation. So we'll loosen up the body, nice, easy movements. There's always some shaking and a bit of twisting, moving the spine in various directions. And then this morning, we are going to work with a few movements from an energy block release sequence that help us to feel really present. We get into the spine, we'll move it again in all directions. And then we're going to work with, the focus of this morning's class is the rotated triangle pose, PARIVRITTA TRIKONASANA. So if you've got a block or a book or something that you might want to put your hand onto, it makes it a bit more comfortable to do that, but it's not essential. And then we're going to flow through the whole sequence of movement. So I'll guide you through it slowly. And there's a couple of warrior poses in there, big Bhima stretch. And I teach everything from beginner stages. Well, Chloe is. Okay, let me just try one more time to get her. There we go. So she'll get here when she gets here. So most important thing as well is look after your body. So if anything feels uncomfortable or you experience any pain, go back to where you felt okay. So this morning, we're going to start off by giving your right hand a shake. And we're just loosening up the fingers, and we're going to take it nice and easy to begin with. So we work with everything segmentally. We're going to start off just bringing that awareness into your thumb. So you feel the joints in the thumb loosening up. And then your first finger, middle finger, and your ring finger. Feel it flowing into your wrist. And then taking it into the forearm. And up into the bicep and the shoulder. And then we're just going to separate the feet a little bit and tilt forwards and shake the arm down towards the ground. So you feel it go into your shoulder and the whole of the arm just loosens up. Lovely. And then just let your arm relax there. Let your head, neck and shoulders relax. And then bend your knees, engage your core muscles and stand up and stretch up on that right side, and just take that arm all the way up so you feel stretched through the side of the body into the ribs. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, just let that arm descend down. Comes down slowly and just arrives back down by your side. Fabulous. Take your awareness into your left hand. Give your left hand a shake out. So I mirror you as well to try and make it easier for your eyes. And keeps my brain active, trying to do everything the other way around. So loosen up your thumb again, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger. Feel it flow up into the palm and your wrist. And then allow it to go into your elbow and the bicep. So the whole of the arm is loosening up. Tilt forward and shake down to the ground. And feel that vibration as it goes into the trapezius, into the neck. And then just let your arm relax there. It's just dangling, hanging loose. Lovely. Bend your knees, breathe in. Start to stand up on the left side and take that arm all the way up. You breathe in space into the ribs. And then as you breathe out, let that arm just descend down. And then just walk your feet a bit closer together. Bring both arms in together, and we're just bouncing on the balls of the feet, so just lifting the heels up. The balls of the feet stay down, and this gets your fluids moving, it gets your lymphatic system moving, and it energizes the body. You're going to lift the arms up in front. Breathe in, feel a lovely stretch up through the sternum, and then as you breathe out, bend your knees and swing your arms back behind. Breathe in, rise up. Breathe out, bend your knees and swing down, lifting back up. Full lung. This time breathe out through your mouth as you come down. And then as you rise back up, just let both arms come down by your sides. I'm just going to see if Chloe's starting to get in here. No, she's not. Don't know what's happened to her. So come back to standing and, oh, you already are. Pop your hands onto your hips. Lift up your right foot and circle the toes on your right foot. So you just loosen up your ankle and feel into that ball and socket joint. And just use your core muscles to help keep you steady. So lifting pelvic floor and drawing the lower abdominals back to the spine. After a few circles in one direction, change direction. And then give your foot a shake. And see if you can feel the sole of the foot loosening in the heel. Lovely, feel it ripple into your calf muscle, into your knee. And then taking it up into the thigh, so the thigh muscle, the quad, really loosens up. And if you need a bit of support with this, use the wall or a chair. Don't worry about balancing too much. It's not a balancing exercise. And then just let your leg come out in front and then take it across the body. That's really good for the brain when we do that. And then bring your foot round, place it back down. Take your weight into your right leg, lift your left foot and circle your toes. Just taking the toes around in a few circles. And go the other way as well. And then just pause. Give your foot a shake. Feel the toes loosen and the sole. I guess getting the body's energy system awakened. Feel that vibration as it travels up into your calf muscle and your knee. And then up into the thigh. In the quad move. Bring the leg to the front. And then it goes across the body. Oops. So still shaking it as it goes across the body. And then bring your foot around, place your foot down, and have a whole body shake around, loosen up. Just enjoy. It's Tuesday. It's a nice day to get moving, and then come back to standing. So we're going to go down to level of the hips now. So you want to make sure you've got enough space and you're not going to hit your furniture, or in my case, the wall that's very close to me. And you want to have your feet not quite shoulder distance, but a bit more than hip distance, and just start turning from left to right. And you're just turning your hips, and the arms are, the only way I describe them is like they're like an accessory. So you move your hips, but in doing so, your arms move as well. And that twisting movement moves all the way from the base of the spine, all the way up to the top of the neck. These movements release latent energy. It's trapped in your muscles, your joints. So just starting to let the arms lift up a little bit higher now. So we're at the level of the elbows. And if possible, try to make your arms as loose as possible so your arms tap into your body and give you a free massage. And gradually still going to travel that bit higher. Then we come to shoulder level. Then let your arms go up into the space a couple. Or just twist through your spine. And then let the arms come down. As they come down, they start to feel lighter. And then we're going to start to lift the heels from the mat. So the twist deepens. Lift your heels and got a stretch going through the spine. So you're stretching from the sternum down into the base. And now to create a bit of length. And the arms are coming up again. So we do this to wake up your spine segmentally. And the arms go up into the space above. And the arms come up down. And then our third stage is to sink down through the knees. So you're stretching out the quads. And I find the slower I do this, the easier it is. Once I start going fast, I start falling over. Just sinking down, stretching out those quads. And then come up to standing. So when you stand in position, you want to have your feet bit more than shoulder distance, and just bring your right palm so it's facing the right side. And all we're going to do is stretch across the body and come across the level of the shoulders, and you can come onto your big toe, and then we do it the other way. And it's as though there's something in front and you're just moving it out of the way. It's a step and reach, or a step and push. And it creates a lovely stretch through the sides of the body. And start to gain a little bit of height and up towards the corners. Just enjoy that lovely lengthening. So you breathe in, breathe out into the stretch. And then the arms start to come up so they're overhead. You're reaching up. And then the hands are going to come down through the middle. So we change the movement and it becomes like you're pulling something back in. My lovely Mona teacher used to say, imagine that you've got a boat and you're pulling the boat in, which was quite appropriate for me because I was a sea cadet when I was a teenager. Hard work pulling boats in. We're going to go down to the ground. Lifting up. And then just let your body relax in your forward bend. Let your legs have a slight bend in them. Allow the crown of the head just to hover over the ground. And just take a few nice deep breaths here. Bend your knees very deeply so your abdomen rests onto your thighs. So you're down in a bit of a squat, but you're holding onto the floor. And then we're going to come up. So engage core, press down into your feet and just start stacking each vertebra as you come up. And you'll be breathing in as you rise up. You're going to take the hands all the way up through the midline and stretch up. Lovely. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, let the arms create that circle in front. Let your arms come down. Yes. So we're going to come into the shoulders now. Just give your shoulders a few shrugs. And then we're going to begin to isolate. So we're just going to start circling the right shoulder and then the left. And we'll just start off with nice little circles to begin with. And as your body moves, let your hips be included in the movement so it comes all the way up from the feet. This mobilizes the shoulders, the spine, stretches the pecs. And then you start to lift your elbows into it. And when you bring your elbows in, you feel it in your ribs, in the intercostal muscles. And then the third stage is to sink the arms down. So your elbows go back and then you bring the arms through. I think it looks a bit like some kind of bowling or an orangutan. That's what I feel like anyway. So, and it really does. It helps to soothe the adrenals when we do this. And then we're going to take it into another movement. So just have your palms facing one another and step your feet nice and wide and start to create a figure of 8. And you can let this figure of 8 go wherever you need to go to stretch out your spine this morning. The only thing to be aware of is just have those palms facing one another. And start to explore, move high, move low, twist into the spine. You can close your eyes as you move. And this is a way of, when I first started teaching, my friend said, feel like I'm spring cleaning my energy body. And I thought, oh, I like that. So it feels like you're doing an autumn winter cleanse in the space you exist, space your body moves in, your space. moving, and then start to make your figure of eights a little bit smaller and step your feet back into hip distance. And just noticing how a tiny movement feels as you move your hands. And just pause with both palms facing one another. Let your awareness drop into your breath. Allow the body to arrive into that place of stillness. And the palms are just facing one another, and draw the palms a bit closer together and see if you can feel any warmth emanating between the palms. And then bring the tips of your fingers together. So you connect your little fingers, middle fingers, ring fingers, index and your thumb. Your thumb is going to point to your heart center. And hold in this mudra. That's the mudra, hand amplification. And mudra amplifies the energy of what we're working with. So this is a mudra of harmony, balance. You might just want to close your eyes and become aware of your strong legs. Energy rising up through the legs into the hips. Breathing steadies. And then press the fingers together so the joints on the hands come together, the palms come together, and your hands end in Anjali Mudra. The palms are just in front of the heart. And then release your hands down either side of your body. Just check that your feet are hip distance. Stretch your toes for a second. I'm going to come into Tadasana Mountain Pose. So just lift your toes up and stretch them out, and then place your toes back down onto the mat. And to get your hip distance, you can make two fists with the hands and just slide them in between the feet. Or the way I really like, which I think is just perfect sometimes, because sometimes I just don't want to go down there to the ground, and all you need to do is just close one eye, and then you get the opposite fist and you just hover that fist between the arches, and that gives you your approximate hip distance without having to do very much at all. So you need one eye closed, opposite fist, gives you your hip distance. So we always start from a good foundation and wriggle down into your feet. Feel the soles of your feet spreading like two plates. And then we're going to start to draw energy and awareness up through the legs. Become aware of your heels and the arches in your feet. And just feel as though you're drawing that earth energy into your legs, into your hips. Breathe out and just gently lift pelvic floor and draw in those lower abdominals. Breathe in as that awareness rises up through the chest. Space. And then lift your shoulders up towards your ears, take your shoulders back. And there you go, you've got that openness in your chest. Just take a few breaths here, slow, long breaths. Use the breath to ease you into your Tadasana, your mountain pose. And then feel the crown of the head rise up. And the body arrives into that place of steadiness. Calm. Feeling grounded and earthed. And the first thing we're going to do is just bring the backs of the hands closer together in front of the body. And we're going to raise both hands up in front. Breathe in as your arms lift up and your sternum lifts. And then as you breathe out, you're just going to fold forward to keep your hands close to your body and your elbows bent. And just flow down towards the ground. The knees bend, core muscles engage, and you start to rise back up. Breathing in as you flow upwards. Sternum lifts, and then you breathe out and you just flow down. As you're coming down, focus on your out breath. And lifting up, focusing in on your in breath. Stacking each vertebra. Energizing the body as you rise. Breathe out, flow down. One more time. And just pause down here in your forward bend. And you can bend your knees. Lengthen your spine so the crown of the head hovers over the ground. And then place your fingertips. You can place your fingertips underneath your toes, or you can just let your arms hang loose, or you can place your hands onto your shins, wherever you wish. And then feel a lengthening through your spine. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, just fold in your abdomen down towards your thighs, and the crown of the head hovers over the ground. So we're just starting off in Padhastasana, and head to knee pose. Sorry, head to foot pose. And then coming up now, bending your knees, coming up really, really, really slowly, stacking each vertebra so you don't get too dizzy. Stacking each vertebra, and we're going to take the hands right back through the midline, hoping you're not too dizzy. Arms come all the way up. You let your palms come together overhead. So I've got them together, you just can't see them. And then we just go over towards the right side. Just enjoy a nice lateral stretch, so sideways stretch. Engage core, breathe in, lift back up. And let your body come over to the other side. Lovely, come back up to the middle. And then let both hands come down so you create a circle in front. And what's going to happen is you're just going to let your knees soften, cross your right arm in front of your left. And as you breathe in, you just lifting up. Breathing in that expansion through the lungs, and the arms come down. So we stay standing, we just soften the knees. See, there's a sinking. So your back straight stays straight. You breathe in, you lift up. Breathe out, the arms come down. So stay standing up as your arms come down. Cross your arms over. Breathe in, so you're breathing in that expansiveness, and you're breathing out a feeling of relaxation. Expansiveness, breathing into feeling into your space, into your body. And as we're working with the heart center, we work with feelings of joy and that gratitude for being able to move. Lovely. Now let your hands come down by your sides this time. Lengthen your spine. Turn the palms away from you so your palms face out to the sides. And all we're going to do is sink into the knees and raise both arms up overhead. So core muscles on, sink into your knees. So just bend your knees a bit. Let your arms come up overhead so the hands come together. Now breathe in. And as you breathe out, straighten your legs and guide your hands down in front of your heart. You're going to sink back down into the knees now, breathing in. As your knees bend, your back stays straight. And we sink down into Utkatasana, shout the heart. Breathe out, straighten your legs. We're going down one more time, breathing in. Lovely. And if you feel good this morning, you can let your head look up towards the back of your wrists. And then looking forward once more, straighten the legs, let the hands come back down by your sides. Bringing the arms up in front. So your palms are facing you. So you want to have, so open your arms out to the sides, your palms facing forwards, and then bring your arms around as if you're hugging a tree. And then all we're going to do is breathe in, guide the hands in towards your chest, keep your elbows high. And then you're going to breathe out, sink into your knees, push the palms away. So the palms, the arms straighten, that's it. Breathe in, guide your hands in. The expansion through the lungs, through the chest. Breathe out, push the hands away. Breathing in, guiding in. And breathe out, push away. Sinking to the knees. So we're synchronizing the movement and the breath. Breathe in, hands come in. And you breathe out, palms push away. Just working with that a couple more times. So breathe in, expansion, and breathe out, soften. And just feel as though you're breathing out anything that's not needed on this Tuesday. Any ideas, any things that aren't serving us, that aren't ours. And breathing in a feeling of calm. You let your hands come back in. And instead of sending them forward, just send them down towards the ground. And feel as though you're pressing down towards the ground and your spine is growing tall. So the palms are just at the side. And then release your hands, let your hands rest. Fab. We're just going to do a few movements into the shoulders and the wrists now. Keep your arms low to begin with. Let the movement come down through the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, and into the fingers. We're going to start to let the arms lift up, but do make sure you can see them out of the corners of your eyes. And do this because it releases tension. Just make sure that you can see your hands out the corners of your eyes. Because if we lock the shoulders, it can really hurt. I know this. This movement is amazing. Just squeezing out tension that's been accumulated because we spend our time with our phones in our hands, driving. Here we go. Let's pop over to the screen. Beautiful. And then just let your arms rest down by your sides. Give your arms a bit of a shake out. She made it. So pleased to see you, Chloe.
Sorry for all that. I don't know what's wrong with my computer.
I think it's the Zoom, to be honest. Lindsay had the same problem. So just give your arms, we'll just do an extra bit of arm shaking. In fact, give your whole body a shake. Let's have a Tuesday wiggle and a move.
I have done a bit of a warm-up in between, so don't.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. We're just about to start twisting the spine. I want to just do this. Okay. I'll bring it back. No more funky moving for a bit. So I think what's best is if I just do a quick demo of this movement, because we've got a new student with us this morning, and it's important that I do it properly. So just watch me for a second. If you know it already, please just do what you want to do. We're going to do the standing cat. So I'll just do a quick demo. Let's stand on this side. So I'm going to teach it properly. So I'm just doing a little demo to begin with. So I've just done a little demo for you, but what we're going to do is you want to have your feet shoulder distance, bend your knees, place your hands just behind your knees. And the first thing to do is just let your tummy hang loose and let everything just hang loose. So you feel into what the feeling of instability feels like, physical instability. And breathe out. And then engage pelvic floor, abdominals, glutes. Draw all those muscles up towards the spine and let your back arch and your chin come in towards your chest. And just hold that strength there for a second. Now let your awareness go back to the base and you tilt your pelvis forward and feel into each vertebra as your head comes up. And there's an element of lengthening. So we're trying not to kink the spine in any way. And then you reverse the weight from the base. So you engage glutes, draw tummy button up towards the spine and feel that flow come through each vertebra. Chin comes in towards the chest. So you're always moving from the base. And you'll be breathing in as your head comes up. And then you breathe out as you reverse that wave. And it's just in the same way as a cat moves its spine, that lovely flowing movement. And it frees up tension, it creates longevity, it keeps your discs hydrated, and it strengthens the glutes and quads as well. So we'll just work with that 2 more times. You're breathing in as the head comes up. And breathe out as you draw tummy button up towards the spine. And then return back to neutral. Give your wrists a bit of a shake out. My wrists always get really tired after that one. And then we've got a second stage. So go back into that same shape. Place your hands just behind your knees. What I like to do is just a little bit of movement first of all. So you just start lowering your shoulder down towards the midpoint and then just move back again. You can use your core muscles to lead the movement. And then return back to neutral. And here's where the twisting begins. So you're going to lower your right shoulder down towards the middle. And then you turn from the base of the spine and look up over your right shoulder. Sorry, over your left shoulder. And then use your core and breath as you lift back to the middle. That's it. And then you're going to drop your left shoulder down towards the middle. Turn from the base of the spine and you look up over your right side. Breathing back to the middle. Right shoulder drops down. Turn through each vertebra. Engage core, come back to the center. And then final time, left shoulder drops down. You turn through each vertebra and you're looking over the right side. And then if you've got a block and you want to use a block, you can place a block down in front of you or a cushion. Or if you're, can't even see my cushion, move back a bit. It just makes it a bit easier. And we're going to have wide stride, feet facing forwards, and just bring your body down into your forward bend first of all. Hold your elbows and just swing between the 2 big toes so it stretches out your hamstrings. And then place your hands down onto your block, onto your book, onto your cushion. And you want to have the crown of the head facing down to the ground. Then bend your knees. And what's going to happen is we are going to start to straighten the legs. Bring your hand in towards your armpit. And then you turn from the base of the spine and then you raise your arm up. That's it. And then you look up towards the arm or the hand. So it works with the throat. Now breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you bring your hand in towards your armpit. soften your knees and place your hand back down onto the mat. So it's a movement with many parts. So you breathe in, you start to straighten your legs, turn from the base of the spine, bring your left hand towards your armpit, and then unfurl the arm like a wing. Look up towards that hand. Lovely. Now breathe in. Breathe out as the arm comes down. Repeating that on the right side. So legs straighten, turn from base of spine, and comes towards the armpit. And then you stretch it up. Look up, breathe in. And the arm comes down as you breathe out. We'll just repeat that one more time on the left. Straighten your legs, turn from the base of the spine, the left arm next. Wonderful. Bring that arm down and do the same thing again on the right. So turn from the base of the spine, bring your right arm up, and then we rotate the arm up there. So you start turning it from the shoulder socket, like when we did our arm rotations earlier. A few twists. And then bring it back down. We're just going to do that once on each side. And then, yep, the left side comes up, twist, arm comes up, and then you just begin to twist it from the shoulder socket. Working against gravity as well. Bring the arm down, let the hand come back down onto the ground. Slide your cushions out of the way, bend your knees and come back up to a wide leg standing position. Crikey. And I'm just going to give you a moment to let your blood settle, and you feel a bit dizzy down there. Very, very good for the brain though. We've just got one more body prep to do, and then we're going to do one of my favorite, just my absolute favorite things. I love doing the goddess sequence. So, you should stand with your feet wider than shoulder distance, because we're going to work with the adductor muscle. So these muscles on the inside of the legs. Excuse me. Right, so feet facing forwards. All we're going to do is sink down into the right side. So bend your right knee and just let your body sink down. You want your weight over your right leg and your left leg's extended out. And I'm hoping you can feel the stretch on the inside of the thigh. Don't let it be painful. Going for that motto, the no pain motto. Yeah. Mild discomfort's okay. So nice, slow, steady breaths. Now engage core, breathe in, lift up and sink down into the left side. Your knees are forward, feet are forward. Weights over the left foot, leg. Breathe in, engage core, lift up. Breathe out, sink into the other side. Okay, we're going to go back down into the left one more time. And then we just move between the two. So let your body just flow. And stay as long as you want to. And then come back up to standing. And just let yourself come back into your standing position. Fantastic. So now we are arriving into our power, our strength. And we're going to tune into our goddess selves. I just absolutely love this little sequence of movements. So check that your feet are a comfortable distance apart. They're not too wide, because you're going to turn your toes out as if they're at 5 past over 5-2. If there was a clock down there. And then you're going to just bend your knees, just check you can bend your knees and sink down through yoga ballet. And then come back up to standing. Now, feel down into your strong legs, feel into your feet, and feel that lengthening up through your spine. And the first thing we do is we just cross the arms over and front and breathe in as those arms lift up. And as you breathe out, you're going to create that circle and just bend your knees a bit. Hold on to those core muscles. Keep your back straight as the arms come down. Now we're going to cross the arms over. And as the hands get level of the ribs, you start to straighten your legs again. Breathe in. And this time we breathe out, we sink a bit further. And you just hold. Feel strong, steady. Breathe in, straighten up. And that breath to fill you up, fill that space, and you sink down a bit more. Core muscles are on. Breathe in, straighten. Coming down a bit more this time. I'm not going to stay for that long. Breathe in, straighten the legs, lift. Feel as though you're peeling back these layers. You're peeling back the layers that block your shine. And that dim it, I should say, not block it. And this time we come down, place your hands onto your thighs, tuck your tailbone under, lift your sternum and sink into your powerful goddess. And we're just going to pause here for a moment, let that strength build. Just focusing on your breath. Okay, now we're going to release the arms. Let the arms come up overhead and give them a clap. Lovely. Straighten your legs, draw down on your hands, let your hands come down in front of your heart as you breathe in. Now, as you breathe out, we're going to straighten the arms up and bend the knees. So we're going down. Make sure you feel steady and strong. Peel your hands apart, let the arms circle around. We're going to straighten up through the midline, breathe in. Now, this time as you come down, you open out into your chalice cup and just let your palms be open. Strength in the hips, the legs. The lungs are open, full, heart center wide open, tuning into your power, your strength, your joy. And then let the arms clap again overhead. Pull down, straighten your legs. And your hands in front of your heart, walk your feet back in to hip distance. And then you can release the hands, just draw the wrists apart, turn the fingers down to the earth, towards your heart, draw that energy up and just pause there for a second, close your eyes and stand in that peace you've created. And in your power, your goddess. Honoring yourself. And then if you, I'd like you now to just come down onto your mats and come down onto your bellies. All the way down. Separate your feet wide, heels in, and your toes are pointed out. My camera only allows half of my body on the screen. You're going to place one arm down, the other arm goes on top, and then your forehead rests onto your arms. If you feel a bit claustrophobic here, you can make two fists and place your forehead onto your fists, or you can place a cushion under your chest. And just spend a few moments just breathing deeply down here. Pressing the belly down into the earth. And that wonderful pressure moving through your digestive organs, giving them that massage. Breathe in, expanding into that space. Breathe out, soften. And then begin to draw your heels in, so your heels come back closer together. And then just slide your hands back towards your shoulders and lift yourself into the extended child pose. So your hips come back to join your heels, your arms are stretched out, your forehead's down on the mat. You can just spend a moment or two relaxing here. And then press your palms down into the mat. Lift yourself up so you come onto all fours. And you want to have your shoulders above your hands and your hips above your knees. And we'll just do a few waves of the cat. I've not actually planned it, but as we're here, we might as well. So just moving in the same way as what we did with the standing cat. So move from the base of the spine. As you arch your back up, you're breathing out. And as you're looking forwards, you're breathing in. And then return back to neutral. And then bend your right elbow. And then feed your left arm through. So you come down into what's called the weaving cat. You lower your shoulder down and the side of your head, still supported by the hand. And as you come into weaving cat, just taking some slow breaths. And then press down into your right palm, lift back up, bend the elbow and, so bend the left elbow, feed the right arm through, lower your shoulder down. And then lift yourself back up into your cat position and come back into pose of a child. So hips come back to join the heels. And then this time you bring both hands back. So your palms are resting by your ankles, forehead down. Just taking some nice deep breaths. And then bringing yourself back into a seated position in your own time. I'm going to do some demonstrating for you now. I'll peel myself up from the ground. So I'm going to do some dancing. I'm going to do some demonstrating for you. So the two things I'm going to demonstrate. So just make yourself comfy for a minute because I'm going to be busy for a moment or two. So the first thing I'm going to demonstrate is the rotated triangle pose, PARIVRITTA TRIKONASANA. And rotated triangle pose is many different things. It's firstly a forward bend. So we move forwards. We then twist the spine in the same way that we've done several times already this morning. We twist the spine from the base to the crown and then raise the arm up. And in doing it in this slow segmental way, we really get deep into the organs within the body. So it helps to boost your digestive organs. It squeezes through that center. So it's great as well. I always forget that yoga is a form of a physical exercise, but it really does. It works well good with your midriff and that sort of thing. So I'll demonstrate that, and then I'm going to demonstrate the full sequence that we've been working on. When we do it, we'll do it really slowly. I've got my block with me, so I'm going to place the block down. So that just makes it that little bit easier, but don't worry if you've not got one, you can make a little claw. So I shall just do a bit of demoing for you in my compact yoga space. Okay, so that's the pose, what we're really focusing on. Now I'm just going to demo the whole little sequence. So that's what we're going to do after we've done that. So this is what we've been doing the last few weeks, actually. So there we are. There is the sequence of, there's several postures in there. We call it the inner fire sequence because it really works to ignite your inner fire. We work with this, well, the three main chakras, three lower chakras really. First of all, Muladhara at the base gets you grounded and strong through the legs. And then as we work into Parivritta Trikonasana, the rotator triangle, it moves you into that solar plexus. So that's the energetics of it. Come and stand over towards the left-hand side of your mat. What has happened to my camera? Sit the left-hand side of your mat, and we're going to start into Tadasana Mountain pose. So the first thing to do is just really tune into your feet, your legs. You want your feet hip distance apart. Feel your body lengthening. Let your core muscles engage. Hips and pelvis in neutral. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Crown of the head presses up. So we're going to work with Parivritta Trikonasana, first of all, the rotator triangle. So just let your palms come together. And if you're using a block or a book, you want to have that on the right hand side. Release your hands, let your hands come down. Beautiful. Step out to the right side now. Check your core muscles are on, your legs feel strong. Turn the toes of your right foot 90 degrees. And then you're going to lift your left heel back and take that left heel back. Check your hips forward. Square forward. Core muscles on now. You're going to breathe in and raise your arms up to shoulder height. And then we're going to do a little bit of a maneuver. What's going to happen is your left hip is going to move forwards. Your left hand is going to move forward, and then you place your right hand just onto your hip. And then we're going to come back to the front. We're going to do it a couple of times just so we get that beautiful movement. Breathe in, breathe out. That movement happened lovely. And then come back to the front. Now this time we're going to do it and we're going to stay there. So you breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out. Let your arms move down. Place your right hand onto your hip, left hand extended out in front. Now you want to make sure your hips are square to your leg. If you want to bend your right knee, you can do. It makes it that little bit easier. And then we're going to reach forward from the base and then turn the palm of your left hand up towards the sky. In your left hand, imagine you've got something very, very, very precious, and you're going to lower that precious item down towards the ground. And you can either place your hand onto a block, you can make a little claw, whatever you do, just make sure that you feel comfortable here. And then you're going to turn from the base of the spine through each vertebra. So you're looking over towards the right side, and then raise your right arm up above your body. Now I'm going to come out of the pose so I can see you all. So you all stay there. Brilliant. Feel as though you're stacking your shoulder blades and you're turning your torso towards the right. Now take a beautiful, fresh, big, deep breath in here. And as you breathe out, sweep that right hand down past your right hip, bend that front knee a bit more deeply, and then pause with both hands just in front of your right foot. Gorgeous. Now engage your core muscles, lift up from the base and really feel as if you're lifting something up. And then you're going to pause with your arms at shoulder height, with your arms stretched out. And then the left hand comes across the body and you just draw that left hand across. And you can feel as though you're drawing radiant, warm light through your chest. Turn both feet forward. Breathe in. Breathe out, fold down to the earth and just relax down there. You'll feel a nice stretch again through your hamstrings. And then move in your own unique way. Relax your spine. If you're using a block, slide your block over to the other side. And then bend your knees and start to lift up so you come back to standing. And we've still got our feet in the same position. I'm going to ask you to just move a little bit to the right. You don't have to hop like a rabbit like me. And then we're going to turn the toes of the left foot 90 degrees. We're going to lift the right heel, take your right heel back. Check your hips are forward. Lovely, breathe out, engage pelvic floor, feel your spine lengthen. And then we're going to really lift the arms up as you breathe in. So you're unfurling your wings. And then we're going to do a few of those just conditioning movements. So you might need to take your heel a bit further back as you bring your right arm forward. That's it, got that gorgeous twist. And then we're going to go back to the front. So unwind, lovely. So that twist happens, your knee bends. Right arm extends out in front. Left hand sits on your hip. Come back to the front, breathe in. Now this time we're going to stay there. So bring your arms down. Left hand goes onto hip. Right arm extends out shoulder height. Core muscles on, glutes on. Reach forward from the base. Got that lengthening, turn your right palm up and then you lower your right hand down onto your block or onto the ground, wherever you might be today. Turn from the base of the spine and get your head turned towards the left and then lift that left arm up. You can straighten your left leg if you wish, or you can keep it bent. It's entirely up to you. Now just taking some nice slow deep breaths here in that shape. Your PARIVRITTA TRIKONASANA. Amazing for your digestion, for giving you that boost of energy and creativity. Now sweep your left hand down, let it pass by your hip. Pause with both hands in front of your foot, core muscles on, and then lift up from the base. You're lifting up that precious item. And your arms extended out shoulder height. Doing great. Draw that right hand back across your body. Put both feet forward. Pause for a moment in that shape. Breathe in. As you breathe out, soften, come down to the earth. Just let go here. And then walk your feet back together, back to hip distance. You're going to stack each vertebra as you come up. And then let your hands unite in front of your heart. Close your eyes for a second. Release your hands. So we're going to work with the inner fire sequence now. I'm going to run over by a couple of minutes. I hope you don't mind. I hope you've not got to run off somewhere. But we will do this. So come over towards the left-hand side of your mat. Standing tall. In the ground underneath your feet. Lengthening your spine, let your palms come together. So we're going to work with your inner fire. Release your hands, let your hands come down and step out to the right. Now we're going to turn the toes of the right foot 90 degrees, take the left heel back. Check your hips are forward. Now this time we're going to come into Virabhadrasana, the warrior pose. So first of all, pop your glutes on, core muscles, and as you breathe in, let your arms lift up. Breathe out, let them settle. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. And as you breathe out, bend that leading knee, sinking down through the hips. Lovely. Check your weights down through your legs. Turn your head so you're looking down the middle finger of your right hand. Bend your right elbow. Bring your right forearm onto your thigh and sweep your left arm across. That's it. And it doesn't jar the shoulder that way. Now reaching through that right side and pressing down into the outside rim of the left foot. Enjoy a big whole breath here. Okay, now awareness back down to your left foot. Lift your left heel and take it back so your hips go forward. And you're going to lower your left hand down, either onto your block or your book or make a claw. And then we go into the PARIVRITTA TRIKONASANA. So you turn from the base of the spine and raise your right arm up. Like this. I'm just going to come out of it so I can see what you're doing. Brilliant. And then bring that that right hand down past your hip. Both hands paws on the ground in front of your foot. Engage core, lift both arms up. So the arms are stretched out at shoulder height. That's it. And then you guide that left hand across your body. Now this time, instead of coming down, we just realign the feet. So you want to bring your right foot a little bit towards the midline. Core muscles on, bend your right knee, and then we come over into that triangle shape. So your left arm is extended up, stretched up. And if you want to, you can look up towards your left hand. So right arm is down, left arm is up. Beautifully grounded through the feet and that upward rise of energy. Now bend your leading knee, engage core, let the body lift up. Turn your right foot forward, just come down to rest for a second. And then walk your feet back to hip distance. Unravel your spine. Come up to standing. The palms come together. Brilliantly. Take a step over towards the right, both feet. Be back into Tadasana, feel your spine lengthen, core muscles on. Release your hands, so turn your hands in towards your body, hands come down. You step towards the left side this time. Raise up the left foot 90 degrees. Lift your right heel, take it back. Hips forward and square. Breathe in, lengthen your spine. Breathe out. Engage your core muscles. Breathe in, let your arms come up. Breathe out, let them settle. Breathe in to lengthen. Breathe out as you bend that leading knee, sinking through the hips. Turning your head, looking down the middle finger of your left hand. You're in your powerful warrior pose, building resilience and strength. Then you bend your elbow, sweep your right arm across into what we call the Bhima pose. Dynamic triangle, I can't talk. Dynamic stretch. Lift your right heel up, bring your right hand down onto the mat at the side of your left foot or onto your block. Turn from the base of the spine, so you're looking towards the left, and raise your left arm up above your body. So you can reassess the feet. Beautiful, big deep breath in here. Breathe out, sweep that hand down past your hip. Pause with both hands just in front of your foot. Engage core, lift up from the base. Both arms come up at shoulder height. And then you draw that right arm across. Feel as though you're drawing sunlight, radiant light through your body. Realign your left foot. So you want the heel towards the medial arch. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, you come over into your triangle pose. Your right arm's lifted up. And if you want to, you can look up towards your hand. Amazing. Let that right hand come down, sweep it through. Final lift up, both feet face forward. Feel empowered, strong, and a huge sense of gratitude for yourself. And then come down to the ground, anchor your hands down, relax your spine, and move in your own unique way. And this just tips everything that we've worked with from the lower parts of the body down to the heart to be released in a creative way. Walk your feet back to hip distance and come back up to standing. Stand with your palms connected. You might just want to close your eyes and rest into the Drew point. The Dhruva Akash, place of stillness. Release your hands whenever you're ready and come down onto your mats, lay down onto your backs. It's time for Shavasana. I do apologise for running over. I can't help it sometimes. You just get extra long yoga classes. Do you know what I did the other day? I ran over by a whole half an hour because I didn't know what time it was. So the students got an hour and a half in the studio. Awful. So I'm going to run over by a few minutes, but I hope you don't mind. So just relaxing down now, making sure you feel warm, comfortable, safe. Scan through your body, scan from your feet. Just notice those places where you can feel the earth. You can feel pressure. And just breathe in and press down into those places. And as you breathe out, just gently soften. We're going to breathe in now and create tightness in the body, tightness in the muscles. So just breathe in and contract all the muscles in the body. Press your arms down into the ground. Scrunch up your eyes and breathe into that feeling. And then as you breathe out, just soften. And really soften, consciously soften. Make the body heavy. Relax. We're going to do that again, but just half of that amount. So just tightening those muscles again. Breathing in. Breathing out. And breathing again. And then as you breathe out again, softening the body. Making the body relax. And then this next time, it's almost like a feather. You're holding a feather. So just breathing in and tightening the muscles, feeling into the body again, but it's like you're holding a feather, so it's a light hold. And we're going to breathe in and breathe out a few times, but still holding into that lightness. So you're cherishing yourself, that softness. And then breathe out. And as you breathe out, I'm just inviting you to spend a few moments just resting here in this place, and stillness, and this sanctuary. Start to begin the process of returning back to our physical bodies. Just deepening the breath now, and as you breathe in, just hear the sound of your breath. Feel its expansive nature in the chest, and maybe even deep down into the abdomen. And as you breathe out now, feel as though the body's nourished. Feel down into your arms and your fingers, and just start to move your fingers. Notice the sacrum, start to move subtle movements, your legs, maybe moving the toes and having a smile. Spending a moment or two with the face and just easing out any tension in the face. And as you begin to reawaken in your mind's eye, allow an image of our sunshine to appear. It's autumnal sunshine. And see the colours of a sunrise, a promise of a new day dawning. And that light, that radiant light, starts to fill you up. And it fills you up with fresh energy and vitality. This light starts to flow down into your muscles, into your organs, and it gives you a boost. Boosts you physically, mentally, emotionally, and it boosts you energetically. Creativity flows and energy. They're just turning over now onto whichever side feels good for you this morning. And we're going to come back to seated. Take your time as you come back up, keep your eyes closed. Here we go. Let's just get in my quote from my book. And I read this one to the students on Friday, but I really love it. And it's a quote that's always spoke to me. And it says, courage does not always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Courage does not always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. And that's a quote by somebody called Mary Ann Mancher. Never heard of that. But she's got a lovely quote for us. So I hope that you've enjoyed this morning's yoga practice, that you've got something from it. And I'm sorry I've run over. Drew yoga classes are designed to be an hour and a half long, and I try and squeeze it in. So just bring your hands together, rub your hands together. Get the warmth into your hands. If you've already got your eyes open, just close them for a second. Place your hands over your eyes. And just let those eyes start to open. Flutter your eyes open and let them bathe into that darkness for a moment. And then start to separate your fingers. Light trickles on in. Give your forehead a tap. Eyebrows, your cheekbones. Your jawline. And then dust off anything that's you don't need today. Let it all go. Wrap your arms around you and give yourself a great big hug. How important you are. Give the other side a hug. Yoga. And then we just end by bringing the arms up overhead, let your palms come together. Bring your hands to your heart. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. May all beings be at peace. Yeah, so I wish you a wonderful day ahead, and I look forward to seeing you again